Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we've got my initial impressions on both of yesterday's hot new releases, Spider-Man 2 as well as Super Mario Bros. Wonder. We got a little bit of gaming news to talk about and some other stuff too. So it's going to be a pretty cool and chill one on today's Level 1 podcast. So, be right back. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Today is Saturday, the 21st of October, 2023. Today is going to be a fun streaming day because all day long, I'm again juggling the two big new releases of Spider-Man 2 and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Played them all day yesterday, alternating the streams today, flipping them around, so we're going to get more Mario here on the first stream, and then Spider-Man 2 continuing on the late shift. Should be a good day, because I am happy to say, after an initial day of playing these games, I like them both. They both seem interesting and fun. And I don't think either is going to be a disappointment. And that's a good thing. After a year of quite a lot of disappointments, games like Starfield and Final Fantasy 16 and Sonic Superstars, it's good to have games that have hype behind them actually seem to live up to that hype. Okay? What I'm going to do today is I'm going to outline my initial thoughts on each game, let you know what I think about each one in detail, and I cannot wait to jump back into them. I'm sure you guys may have some comments on them as well, which I'm glad to hear. Also, a little bit of gaming news today. Not too much, nothing too crazy, but a few topics to discuss today that I feel are a little interesting and spark some conversation here among us. It's good because we haven't really had game news in a while. Typically, on my day off, there's a lot to talk about, or, you know, at least over the course of the week, a few different stories. There's been, like, nothing going on in the realm of gaming news recently. There's been a lot of nonsensical drama that I've stayed away from on purpose. As I told you guys, I'm just not interested in this drama crap anymore, and so many people are trying to, you know, constantly talk about it and bring it up. I don't care about that stuff. Doesn't matter how much you ask me about it or whatever. I'm not going to get involved in it. Listen, I'm here to enjoy games, enjoy life, have a good time with all of you on a daily stream. That's all what it's all about. Anything outside the realm of that, anyone else want to attack each other and be nasty to each other and, you know, over dramatic and all this stuff, you know, go for it. I want nothing to do with that nonsense, all right? All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about yesterday's new releases, shall we? And let's talk about them in the order that I played them. And by the way, if you may have noticed, yes, I'm wearing more Mario stuff today. As I play through Mario Wonder, I feel as I play the game, I'll probably be wearing like Mario shirts and stuff that I have. I think I have three. I wore one yesterday. Obviously, I'm wearing one today. I'll probably wear one again when I play Mario again, probably Monday night. Because people are like, oh, well, I thought you were going to wear long sleeve shirts and fall clothing, Phil. Well, I am. Just right now, it's kind of timely to wear this stuff for the playthrough, so I'm going to wear this when I can and alternate other stuff in between. All right? So let's talk about the games from yesterday, shall we? So, Marvel Spider-Man 2. The initial thing you'll notice is that the graphics are amazing. Like, the graphics on this game, they did an outstanding job of making New York City feel real and vibrant, right? High frame rate, 60 frames as you're swinging through this city fully. Crazy amounts of lighting effects. You know, again, all this interaction, all these real people in the city, cars moving around and all of that. Even looking at the city, it was funny because Spider-Man 2 now has two completely different areas of New York City. You got Manhattan Island, but also some other New York City areas to the east of that river included. And when you're there, you'll notice that the buildings look completely different. Like the buildings in the main Manhattan look like big skyscrapers and things like that. But then once you go off to this other new area, the buildings look older. They actually have like paint coming off of them and stuff. I'm like, wow, they actually did put a ton of attention to detail into this giant world that they've created here for Spider-Man 2. It looks neat. And the traversal, crazy good. I mean, right off from the get-go, you have all these awesome ways to traverse the city. New things like a slingshot ability and a wingsuit ability that lets you fly over the river, so you can quickly get back and forth between the island and the shore, I guess you could call it. Pretty neat. Combat, wow. Again, right out of the gates, unlike Marvel Spider-Man 1, where it's kind of a slow build, in this one, you just have everything. Like, you start off with almost all of your combat abilities from the original game. So you can launch, you can do air combos, you can pull enemies towards you, you can slam enemies to the ground, you can pull them up into the air, you could pull their weapons out of their hands and slam them, you could web them to the wall, you can web a bunch of enemies at once. You have gadgets, immediately your gadgets can start to be used in combat to web up enemies, pull them together. Then you got your special abilities that are all unique compared to if you're playing with Miles or Peter Parker. So it's pretty wild. The amount of stuff right from the get-go they included. It's not one of these games where it's like, oh, inexplicably you've lost all your powers and now you must get them all back slowly. It's you feel powerful right from the beginning of the game, which is a good thing. But, you know, the 3 hours in, have I really had any challenge yet? Maybe a couple enemies have hit me and you do take a lot of damage. But I get the feeling that once the heavier enemies show up, if you remember in Marvel Spider-Man 1, the toughest enemies in the game were not the bosses. Were not crazy, you know, challenge runs or things. It was the big fat guys. There were fat guys that were like tanks, and they took so many hits to kill that you couldn't just like bull rush through them. You had to actually use the parries and the dodges and everything to try to defeat them. While everyone else you could pretty much free flow combat through. You can't do that with the heavy enemies. So I get the feeling that's coming, and it's gonna essentially make me have to start kind of slow down with the combat. Because right now it's funny. People are like, oh, the game looks way too easy. I'm like, dude, we're in the intro. Like, seriously, the whole first 2 hours was a cinematic intro, and now we're just getting into what appears to be the first time that you're in the meat of the game, open world, exploring New York City, doing little mini missions, stopping crimes, taking photo opportunities, doing the combat challenges for the Sandman, and other things. So I get the feeling we ain't seen nothing yet. You know, we've just scraped the very edge of what we're going to see in this game. And likely it will get more and more challenging the further in we get. Story so far is good too. Lots of opportunity for ad-lib commentary because there's some funny moments and things in this game that are very much open to commentary. Like Peter Parker being a huge slob. I couldn't believe that. It's like, okay, so Aunt May, you know, you just lost your Aunt May. Horrible loss. So what's the first thing you do? Move into her house and continue, just make it a pigsty. Fill it with food boxes and a bug infestation. Like, what the hell was that? I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, this is supposed to be the hero, huh? The guy who we're looking up to. The guy that just immediately gets food waste everywhere and infests his aunt's house with insects. Very nice. Anyway, overall, I am liking Marvel Spider-Man 2 a lot. In fact, you know what's really cool is the two different plot lines. You know, Miles is very upset because he lost his father in the first game. And his enemy, you know, Mr. Negative, is in the game. And so he's got that kind of side plot line, like he's angry at Mr. Negative for taking his father from him. But will he be the hero, the bigger man, and do the right thing? Or is he eventually going to lose control and attack the guy, right? That's kind of neat. And, you know, now we got this cool storyline of what's going on with Sandman in the city. And, you know, why did all these paramilitary troops commanded supposedly by Kraven the Hunter show up, and why are they breaking out supervillains from Raft? So all interesting stuff going on, you know, and all in the first 3 hours. So good stuff so far. I'm enjoying it. Hope that you guys are too. If you haven't seen, the first 3 videos are live on the channel. They look amazing. Like last night, I said, you know what? I'm going to watch back some of my playthrough. I'm just curious with video quality and everything. How's everything looking? So I pumped it up to the 1080p quality, and I watched a little bit, and I was like, holy shit. Like, this stuff looks good now. You know, not only does the game look good on the console itself, but my video quality this year really ramped up and these new releases. It looks really sweet. So I hope that you guys are enjoying the content so far. And of course, there's going to be much, much more where that came from over the course of the next week. So thanks for anyone who's initially watched it. Remember, very important, whenever you're watching a brand new game playthrough here on the channel, one amazingly great way you could help me and the channel, and it costs you absolutely nothing, is to like the videos and leave comments, okay? I know that this is something that a lot of people don't think about. I know that. But simply saying, oh, look, I'm watching the new Spider-Man playthrough, it's really fun, let's just like that video. Oh, I'm going to leave a comment and say, hey, Phil, like this. That's it. That's all you got to do. It helps this channel a lot. The algorithm favors stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty hard to get noticed on YouTube and get any kind of natural views on anything. So I would really appreciate it if you could do me that solid on these first batch of videos of these new playthroughs. That would help a lot. All right, so please consider it. Now, in regards to Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which I started up last night and played over 2 hours of, okay? So I have some really good things to say, and I have a few criticisms too. So let me be fair here in my assessment of Super Mario Bros. Wonder, all right? First of all, once again, the graphics are great. For the Switch, it's one of the best looking games I've seen on the console. Smooth 60 frames, great lighting effects, really colorful. The game itself really lends itself to a lot of like colors you don't normally see in a Mario game. Like, how often do you see purple? Well, purple's like a featured color in this game. You know, a lot of things stand out from previous Mario games. I like some of the new elements. So there's these things called badges, and these badges give you a special ability. For example, the ability to hover with your hat in the air temporarily, during a jump, I should say. The ability to do a wall jump that not only launches you off the wall across the room, but up first, then across the room, allowing you to scale much higher before you jump off. Something pretty interesting. And there's all these different ones. I got one that was like an underwater swimming boost, and I got one, there was another one too. I got like 4 or 5 of these. And it looks like if you alternate between these badges, you can, make the game play a lot differently, which is kind of neat. So I'm really enjoying that. The new power-up is when you become an elephant, which is neat. You become kind of a big brute. You can push things around. You can use your trunk to swat enemies away, and you can fill your trunk with water and then spray things to water them, and it kind of changes. Like, certain plants will grow, and it'll do other things to certain enemies. So it's kind of nice. Although, admittedly, that's the only new thing so far in the first 2 hours. I haven't really noticed any other major, like, there's no new other power-up type besides the elephant that I've seen so far. I'm not saying there won't be one. I'm saying that's what's in it. Remember in the last series of Mario games, it was Cat Mario was the big one. That was the big thing everyone talked about. Oh, you can climb the walls, and you can do these aerial, like, diagonal attacks as the cat. Well, now as the elephant, it's a completely different feel. Okay, I definitely like the wonder aspect. If you don't know what that means, every single stage has a hidden flower called the Wonder Flower. If you touch the flower, the stage transforms for a certain period of time and becomes a completely different stage. So, for example, you may be doing a fortress, which is one of the castles, the boss areas, and it's just a standard fortress, just like you would play in any other Mario game. But the moment that you touch the Wonder Flower, the whole thing transforms. Now the pipes are dancing, and things are going crazy, and you have to, like, maneuver around all this zany stuff going on, and if you get to the end of it, you get a reward. There's one stage where it's just kind of a bunch of Goombas, a bunch of Koopas that are kind of skating around on roller skates. But once you hit the Wonder Flower, all of a sudden, all these invisible mountain hills show up, and you can scale the whole stage. And once you get to the very top, there's a hidden item. So it's kind of neat. I like that the wonder aspect adds a hidden element to each stage of the game. It's not just a straightforward platformer in that regard. That being said, I played for 2 hours, and I'm wondering how it will hold up in a game that reportedly is anywhere from 12 to 15 hours long. If the game really is that lengthy, which I hope it is, that sounds great for a platformer in 2023, how much can they keep this up and keep it original? Are we going to see some repeated aspects of the Wonder Flower? Are we going to see stages that are too similar? Or are they going to keep it fresh and every stage is going to be different? Like, I'll be honest, when piranha plants started popping out of their pipes and singing in unison and doing a musical number, I'm not making that up, that happened, I was like, what is going on? My mind was blown. And if they can keep it up with that level of kind of variety and fun, I think this game will be outstanding. But will it stay at that level the whole game? It's an interesting question. The game's map system reminds me of Super Mario Bros. 3. I know some people had said, oh, it's Super Mario World. I actually disagree. I think the map system is way similar to Super Mario 3, where you have different paths that you can take depending on what you're doing. And if you beat a stage a certain way, you'll open up another optional building or optional stage. That's kind of how Mario 3 was, where you could have an optional item house or something that opens up if you did something a certain way. So in that regard, I like it. I do like the world design in that regard. I have one major criticism of the game, all right? And a lot of you may disagree because it seemed like a lot of people last night were digging it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Like, the music. I don't really find it that interesting or notable, all right? And that's weird for a 2D Mario game because I can tell you, every single Mario game, Mario World, Mario 64, right? We could keep going. Even New Super Mario Brothers, like da 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 da. So there you go. Just off the top of my head, I can cite 3 amazing Mario platforming games with super notable soundtracks, right? I just played Mario Wonder for over 2 hours last night, and I don't remember a single song I heard. It was nice, atmospheric, chill music, but none of it resonated with me, and none of it, I don't remember any of it. And that's weird for me. Almost every time I've ever played a Mario game, I remember the music. And how is it that I don't remember the music, right? So, maybe I'm just too early in the game. I don't know. But for me, I'm not digging it. And that kind of sucks because I think that the memorable music is one of the biggest parts of a Mario franchise. And the weirdest part is, after last night's stream, I was downstairs in the living room with my wife humming Mario music from every other Mario game but Mario Wonder. I was like walking around the house humming, and my wife's like, "What's that?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Mario 64." She's like, "Mario 64? You just played Mario Wonder?" Yeah, I don't remember any of the music, but there's other music's in my head now, So, yeah, I hope the music picks up, really, but I'm not sure. But if that's my only criticism of the game so far, I would say that's a pretty fair criticism to have. The music is kind of secondary to all the other enjoyment of the game, correct? I will say there's one other criticism that I will throw out there. The game has 12 playable characters. That's a lot, okay? That's a lot of playable characters. And so far I played with Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Daisy. All right, today I'm going to actually start off with one of 3 selectable Toads. There's Yellow Toad, Blue Toad, Toadette. And then there's 5 characters that are supposedly easy mode characters. There's 4 different colors of Yoshi. And then there's someone called like the Neander Thief or something. And I guess those characters are supposed to be for younger players who aren't very skilled at platformers, because those characters, get this, don't take any damage. So those characters can never... Oh, it's the Nabbit. That's what it's called, the Nabbit. I thought it was called the Neanners for some reason. Okay, maybe it's not the Neander's cat or whatever that thing is. But, no, I guess it's supposed to be meant for younger people. Like, let's say you're playing this game with your younger brother or sister, right? Or, a first-timer who's never played this before, and they want to enjoy it along with you, but you don't want them dying constantly and holding the game up. So you have them play with those characters, right? There's 5 of them. So the thing is, I like the fact that there's so many characters, but if you're someone who's a gamer who cares about actually making advancement and not having the game to play itself, you kind of need to pick one of the 7 that are real characters that can die, So there's 5 characters I'll probably never pick in the game. And I'll be honest, I don't know if there's any difference between them. Like, I was trying to figure out differences. I think they're identical. Like, I was thinking, oh, maybe Peach has the ability to hover in place like she had in Super Mario 2, and then she had it in one of the other Mario games as well. I think it was New Super Mario Brothers, or it was one of them. It was one of them that I played recently, too, because I remember it made certain stages easier. But apparently she doesn't have that in this. It looks like all of the characters may be completely identical. So, I don't know. I mean, is that a criticism? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I can really criticize something when I've barely dabbled in it. I mean, we're 2 hours into like a 15-hour game, and I've only used like 4 of the characters, so maybe there is a difference, and I just don't recognize it yet. But for me, I'm kind of like, well, I like it. I definitely like the game. I like the design. I like the vibes, all right? But I don't know. For me, I'm playing it, and I'm like, I don't know, the first 2 hours, I don't know if there was anything in there that blew me away, but I also did not dislike it. It's not like, oh, I'm bored and I think it's boring or blasé. I actually am enjoying playing it, and I'm looking forward to a major stream of it today. Today we're going to be heading to World 2 and trying out World 2. For what I'm going to understand, there are optional secret exits to certain stages, and I missed one. And apparently someone's like, yeah, it's really hard in this game to figure out if there's a secret exit to a stage or not. They did a really good job at hiding them. I think people are trying to legitimately figure out how can you tell if a stage has a secret exit or not. And I think someone left a comment on the video last night that was pretty insightful. We'll talk about that today as I play the game again, okay? But, I mean, the question everyone's going to ask undoubtedly, all right? Are you enjoying Super Mario Bros. Wonder more than Sonic Superstars, okay? Yeah. There hasn't been a single stage that I didn't like. There hasn't been a single time when I've been, like, feeling really bored. There's been notable moments of delight and wonder and awe at what they did with some of the stuff in the game so far. And it absolutely feels like an advancement of the Mario franchise with the changes and the things they have added. Sonic Superstars, no exaggeration, felt like a step back from Sonic Mania. It felt like they removed things and made it worse. Okay? This game actually feels like a major advancement towards something new, and I'm enjoying that. And we're only 2 hours in, so I get the feeling we're in for a fun and wild ride. So I hope that you guys will join me for that journey. I think it's going to be a special one. Okay? So that's what I have to say about both new releases. The good news is they're both good. And that's where I was yesterday. I was like this. I had my fingers crossed. I had my toes crossed. I was like, please, after all these kind of very disappointing stinkers this year, if we can get some solid games in, that would really be awesome. And it looks like we have gotten 2 really good games right now. Okay? So I'm very happy for that. And I hope that that you guys are enjoying the playthrough so far. Let's now talk about the schedule. Because here's the deal. I want you guys to know what's going on for the next week. Today, we flipped the streams. So yesterday it was Spider-Man 2, and then it was Mario. Today, it's Mario on this major first stream, and then it's Spider-Man 2 on the late stream, okay? So all we're doing is flipping it. We'll have 3 hours of Mario, 2+ hours of Spider-Man tonight. Tomorrow is my one odd day out a week. It's called React Day. Every Sunday over on my sister channel, DSP Reacts, I do a react show where I watch clips that you guys, the members of that channel, have nominated. This week is no exception. I'm sure there's lots of horror and lots of fun stuff there. I'm excited for it. The show's actually been quite good this month since people have been nominating horror-themed videos. It's been a good month. I will say this. YouTube has had a lot of issues this month that I wasn't aware of, and people are telling me after the fact, and I'm like, well, shit, that sucks. Case in point, the way we do the React show is that first we watch the Ultra member submissions. These are people who are the highest level members on that channel. We watch their videos first. Then we get to a playlist for standard members. And what happens is, you know, some 50 to 100 people every week nominate videos that go into a randomized playlist. And we just click random shuffle and we watch them in a random order, and it's luck of the draw. YouTube playlists have all been messed up from weeks. Here's what's been happening. So I click shuffle. It'll play like 2 randomized shuffled videos. And then for some reason, the playlist goes back to the first video and plays them all in order. Why? Why does YouTube playlist system suck that it breaks mid-playlist? Well, literally, it's like we watch 2 to 3 videos, and then apparently it goes back to the beginning of the playlist, and it screws the whole thing up. And I'm like, why is it doing that? You know, I'm not doing that. The reason people noticed is because some people have the ability to nominate up to 2 videos a week. And what's happened is some people have noticed every week people get both of their videos watched back to back. How does that make sense if it's a randomized playlist? It doesn't. It's not working right. So all we can do is try to get it to work, and if we notice an error, try to hit shuffle again and see if it'll reshuffle the playlist. And I apologize. We've been using the randomized shuffled playlist for months. We've never had a problem. Now all of a sudden this month it refuses to work properly. I don't know why. This has also happened on my own stream, playing my own music playlist. I have a playlist of all my musical remixes, and I play it on the pre-stream. A couple days, it started playing other music. Why did it break? These coders at YouTube don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't. They've written really broken code, and it sucks when you rely on it for your business, and I can't make it work. They need to make it work, you know? I'm sure they don't give a shit either, or else they would have fixed this ages ago. Particularly last week on the show, did you notice subtitles kept turning on? I wasn't doing that. YouTube kept auto showing subtitles on every video I watched for the React show. And I never enabled them once. I kept disabling them, and then it would enable them again. I was like, what the hell is going on? So, it's been a mess. I hope tomorrow the show runs a little better. So anyway, during the morning, we're going to have a podcast here on the channel. Then we're going to go over to my React channel, DSP Reacts. You can find that at youtube.com/@DSP Reacts. And we're going to have our weekly React show. Should be a good time. Now, tomorrow night, I want to do something a little different. I know people are going to revolt, and people are going to be upset. But last week, on a whim, I decided to do a stream of Street Fighter 6's World Tour mode. It was the first time in almost 2 months that I played the mode. And when we played it, we got to chapter 13-4. The game only has 15 story-based chapters. And we were playing it, and we made good progress, and I was playing with the Dalzi moveset, and it was funny. There's funny, interesting things happening in the plot. We actually had some big plot reveals and stuff. And I was like, oh, wow, this is actually going pretty good. I like this. And the people that were there enjoyed it. But people just like to complain. And I hate to say it, some people just, they don't want to just be here to enjoy. They want to come here, and they want to see what they want to see. And if they can't see it immediately the moment that they want it, they tend to complain a lot. So it's funny because we had a good audience. People seem to enjoy the stream. And then you got people, oh, why is he playing? He's not playing online multiplayer. You know, I only played 4.5 months of online multiplayer, but apparently that's not enough to satiate some people. God forbid I want to do a 1 or 2 off streams of a different mode in the game that I'm really enjoying. That's not acceptable. I need to, at every waking moment, be appeasing to this certain group of people who absolutely demand that everything I do, every moment that I exist, somehow pleases them. Okay? So, oh man, the World Tour mode that I haven't played in months because all people demanded was multiplayer. I finally get back to it, and all I get complaints. It's like, people, seriously, people complain just to complain. It's to the point where it's ridiculous, all right? And again, it's not that I'm like, oh, I've decided I'm just going to exclusively play World Tour mode for like several days. I did a one-off stream of it, and I got tons of complaints. Anyway, we're so close to the end of this mode. I would think probably like 2 more night streams, and we'll probably beat the World Tour mode of Street Fighter 6, and I can say I finished it. I got to see what it was. I want to finish it. I put 15 hours of gameplay into this dang thing, all right? So, tomorrow night on the late stream, yes, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Yes, I'm playing World Tour mode of Street Fighter 6. If you don't like World Tour mode, that's okay. You can skip it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can skip it. You can come back when I play everything else I'm playing right now. All right? If you want to have a chill stream with a lot of interaction and fun and just laid back atmosphere, that's what the World Tour streams are. They're a lot of fun. We have a lot of discussion and everything as I play, and it's actually a good time. So I hope you'll join me for that tomorrow night, if you can make it. All right? All right. Now, I don't know if we're going to beat it. I don't think we will. Like I said, I think maybe like 2 more streams of World Tour mode, and then we'll probably we'll beat it. So we'll see how far we get tomorrow night. Okay? Then on Monday, we go right back into the full-time coverage of these new releases. So it's going to be Spider-Man 2 again on the daytime stream, and Super Mario Wonder on the late stream. Now, I have 2 more days this week, Tuesday and Wednesday. What I do those days, I'm going to kind of leave it open and see what your suggestion is. If you want me to continue to full-time play these games, I can keep alternating. Like maybe we could do Mario and Spider-Man on Tuesday, right? But there's also Starfield. And we just hit a major development in the story of Starfield. We had a giant plot dump and plot reveal. It has intrigued me, and for what I'm to understand, if I keep doing the main story, there's even more interesting story revelations about critical questions I've had in the lore of Starfield that will be revealed if I just do like another stream. So, after that big plot revelation last week, I am actually looking forward to playing Starfield again. But the question is, do we want to squeeze that in this week? Or are you guys so into the new releases that you just want Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to be all Spider-Man and Mario? Now listen, if that's the case, I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with all Spider-Man and Mario. If that's the case and that's what everyone wants, give me your feedback, all right? But I definitely would like to hear your feedback on that. And then Friday, the 27th, is Alan Wake 2 releasing, and that's going to be a major focus for me, where I'm going to be playing that quite a lot. Horror-themed game. Balanced with, the old school plot line of Alan Wake from like 12 years ago, combined with new horror elements. It's a dual protagonist story now. And of course, keep in mind, coming up on Halloween, Tuesday, October 31st, is my Halloween marathon. Now, we're basically heading to your last week to nominate games. If you haven't yet, please type !Halloween into the chat, or you could just check out the main community page here on the channel. There was a post last week where you can nominate games to be played during the Halloween marathon. We're already absolutely playing the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That game is a lock for the event because the members most nominated it, so that's being played. But outside of that, we've got games like Resident Evil 0, Murder House, Faith, is it called? Faith? I'm trying to remember the exact names of these games, because a lot of these are indie games that I've never played, which is actually good. Faith, the Unholy Trilogy, Cry of Fear, Phasmophobia. So, Faith, the Unholy Trinity, Cry of Fear, Phasmophobia, Resident Evil 0, and Murder House. Now, I guess what I can do is I can give you an update. It's been about a week that this poll's been running. And since that poll's been running, here's our preliminary results, okay? Because we still got about a week for this poll to run. So it could change over time. But here's what we've got. Ready? Sadly, in last place, a game that I guess I'm probably never going to play, Faith the Unholy Trinity. It is an 8-bit style horror game. It looks good, but people really, for some reason, when these 8-bit looking games, a lot of people just don't give them a chance. Same thing with Murder House. Murder House is a game that kind of looks almost like a PS1 game and looks unique and interesting, but didn't really get that much traction. Cry of Fear, which is a mod on Half-Life. It's a free mod that's on Steam. Now that I have an actual mini PC, I can play it. Sadly, didn't get much traction either. Right now, the games that are firmly in second and first place, Phasmophobia and Resident Evil 0. All right? So unless things dramatically change in the next week, we have over 1,300 votes, by the way. But unless something dramatically changes, those are going to be the games we play along with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So let's see what happens. And here's the thing. Once we get to this weekend coming up, we need to discuss exactly what versions of these games to get. Like, obviously, Texas Chainsaw Massacre I'm going to get on the Xbox because it's on Game Pass. Resident Evil 0, I don't know what the best version is. I have a version on PlayStation, but I don't know if it's the best version to play, so we got to talk about that. I believe currently Phasmophobia is PC only, so I'd have to get that on my mini PC and play it on there and see what it's all about. So there you go. We're going to do those games. Plus, I'm going to be dressed up in a Halloween costume all day long. I'm going to be having some booze over the course of the day. We're going to have food. We're going to order food out and have a meal here together, a Feasting with Phil episode. We haven't done that in many months. In addition, there's going to be a live tier maker ranking. We're going to be doing Halloween, or not Halloween, but horror movie franchises and rating them against each other, right? What is the ultimate best horror movie franchise, or what should be considered S tier and what should be a little bit under, right? It's funny because when you think about it, and you think, well, let's see, Halloween, Scream, Friday the 13th, they're almost the same. When you think about them, they're all slasher movies. But what is the ultimate quality judgment when it comes to those franchises? What makes one stand above another? We're going to talk all about it. That's going to be a fun one. I think that's going to be actually one of the most fun things we're going to do on Halloween, because that's a tough thing to judge. I feel. It's very subjective. Some people like one thing over another. Some people like psychological horror. Some people like actual gore. Some people like supernatural plot lines, right, that haunt you. So this would be pretty interesting. And that's coming up on Halloween. Now, once Halloween ends, and I don't mean the movie, I mean the day, and we get into November, that whole first week of November, I'm going to focus on finishing up what I can. Can I finish Spider-Man? Can I finish Mario? And can we get a good chunk into Alan Wake? The next new releases coming out are actually coming out in early November, around November 9th and 10th. I think the 9th is Like a Dragon Gaiden, which is the Like a Dragon game that plays like the old Yakuza games starring Kazuma Kiryu. And then on the 10th, I believe it's Modern Warfare 3 coming out. And we've already decided that I will be playing Modern Warfare 3, okay? So, I am very, very excited for this event and for the coming weeks of new games. So, I'm very excited for all this. I thank you all. I think the schedule sounds good, does it not? Sounds like some good, exciting stuff coming up. Okay, so, before we get to shout-outs, before we get to gratuitous plugs, I think, ladies and gentlemen, we should get to a segment that I believe is my favorite segment. I also believe it's your favorite segment. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the first time in many days for us to enjoy a hearty, delicious helping, a full course, multi-course meal, a delicious, bursting buffet of DSP News. Finally, DSP News returns. In reality, it's very light news today. I don't have much to talk about. It's been a slow week. There's been like nothing going on in the realm of news at all. Mostly because a lot of people are just enjoying games that are coming out. And a lot of drama in the community. And I don't really care about the drama. I pay no attention to it. I ignore it. So I've stayed away from all that nonsense. And I've really been apprehensive about even saying a word about it. But we have a couple stories today I'd like to cover. The first story, this is kind of interesting. The CEO of Nintendo of America, the president of Nintendo of America, Doug Bowser, has come out in an interview. He says the company's teams are not pressured by deadlines, and they're told to take more time if they need to finish a game, so that when these games come out under the Nintendo umbrella, they're really good games. And notably, one of these games that comes to mind is Super Mario Wonder, where we were told that actually this game was in development for quite some time, and although it probably would have behooved Nintendo to have a 2D platformer Mario game out earlier than this year, they didn't rush the team. They allowed them to take their time and polish the games or whatever, and have a good time with it, right? So, does it actually pan out to the point where it makes sense that they did that? Well, so far, I'm 2 hours in, and the game feels like a natural advancement of everything Mario should be. It looks like a polished game so far. And it stands to reason, when you play a first-party Nintendo game, whether it's a Zelda, a Mario, a Metroid, a Donkey Kong, a Mario Kart, a Smash Brothers, whatever the first-party title usually is, right? Typically, it's quite good. Usually, when you're buying a first-party Nintendo game, you know that you're getting quality. Correct? But it's hilarious because there is one actual franchise that everyone says this does not actually follow. And a lot of people immediately responded to this story with skepticism, criticism, and very valid complaints, I feel. Everyone said, well, what about Game Freak? Okay, so for those who don't know, Game Freak is the company that exclusively makes Pokemon games, right? And if you take a look at their track record and history, over the last decade, Game Freak has made it, for some reason, their agenda that every single year they're pumping out at least one, if not multiple, new Pokemon games. I mean, hell, within like a year and a half span, they came out with the new Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Legends Arceus, and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, right? All in like a year and a half. 3 Pokemon games from the same company. And to be honest, again, it's not that I don't like any of those games. I played all 3 of them, right? But obviously when you play those games, what did they focus on? Well, they focused maybe on the gameplay mechanics, and changing up the gameplay world. What is the one thing they absolutely never focus on? The graphics. The graphics of these games are atrociously bad. They perform awfully on the Nintendo Switch, which is weird, because why is it that all the other first-party Nintendo games run so well? They play really well on the Switch. I mean, Mario, right now I'm playing Mario. It runs really, really good on the Switch. Like, really nice graphics. So why is it that Game Freak can't seem to put out a game that's on par with what everyone else is doing? And it's funny because now there's this big debate because everyone's like, well, we thought that it was Nintendo that was responsible. But if Doug Bowser's to be trusted, and if these other games coming out are representative of Nintendo's quality, level, why can't Game Freak be on the level of everybody else? Is it that they are actually inept game designers? Is it that internally it's the company that's the pressure, right? Like, is that what it is? Is the company being internally pressured by management to pump more games out than any other studio that Nintendo has, and therefore they have to pump out these subpar games in a quick amount of time? I have to agree. Listen, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I loved the game. I actually thought it was the best mainline Pokemon plot I've seen in a Pokemon game. It had unique characters. It had cool plots for each one, like subplots and everything. A great world to explore. A ton of Pokemon. Great gameplay mechanics. The one thing that sucked, the graphics were atrocious. Atrociously bad. There was no exception, or no excuse, I should say, that makes those graphics acceptable in the modern gaming era. They were way underperforming compared to any other game. Any of their contemporaries look better, right? And it's gotten to the point where it's a joke. Like, it's a meme now to know that when a Pokemon game comes out, if you're a Pokemon fan, you're probably going to enjoy the game, but you might as well just accept the fact that the game is going to be terrible and run awfully because they don't seem to care, right? The graphics are subpar, right? Now, here's the thing, and this is something I've been saying for years, okay? What you really have to understand is, as much as Game Freak is to blame, because now we know apparently Nintendo is not the reason. A lot of people use Nintendo as the scapegoat. Oh, it's Nintendo forcing them to do this. Apparently not. At least, again, if Doug Bowser is to be believed, he's saying, no, this is not the case. We're not forcing them to pump out these games like this, right? So if it's not Nintendo, then who is it? Who's responsible? Well, ultimately, you could say Game Freak is responsible. They're the ones making the games. But there's someone else who's ultimately responsible. And it's someone who definitely should take responsibility, but in a lot of cases, they don't. And I hate to say it, it's a series of bad choices have gotten us to where we are today. Ladies and gentlemen, the people that are responsible for Pokemon to be in the state it is us. It's our fault. Because we keep buying them. Right? Every time that Game Freak comes out with a game that runs like shit, it looks like it should be on PS1. The frame rate's terrible. Characters are popping in. They're poorly animated. The game is crashing. The game is buggy. The game looks like Play-Doh characters. Correct? It's our fault. We bought it. We keep buying them. Right? Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, arguably one of the worst performing modern day games in recent memory. And guess what? It broke fucking Pokemon sales records. It actually was the best selling one as a new release. So you can complain as much as you want, but if you continuously open your wallet and keep buying the subpar game, the game will never improve. It's the same thing with Call of Duty every year. It's the same thing with Madden every year. It's the same thing with NBA 2K or FIFA, although I don't think FIFA exists anymore, right? Wasn't the license lost or whatever? But you see the point I'm saying? If the consumers keep consuming stuff that they say are subpar, there is zero incentive for a game developer to do better. Why would they? They'd be morons, right? Imagine if you have a sandwich shop and you sell an Italian meats sandwich and everyone reviews it and says it's, oh my God, the Italian meat sandwich, it's just terrible quality, but yet it's your best seller and everyone keeps coming and buying the sandwich. Would you remove the sandwich from your menu? Would you change the sandwich? Or are you going to keep what everyone's buying, right? So it doesn't matter what people say. It matters what they do. Actions speak louder than words. And as long as people keep spending money on Game Freak games, they are never going to improve them. There's one other news story to talk about today. Okay? And the news story is regarding Twitch.tv. As you know, I don't usually have a lot of positive stuff to say about Twitch.tv. I do feel like it is one of the most poorly ran streaming sites on the internet. It's run by a bunch of unprofessional people who, on a moment's notice, will treat you badly for no good reason just because they feel like it, and there's no repercussions for them doing that. There's no legal ramifications for them doing that unless you try to sue them, which is not worth your time. Essentially, Twitch has degraded in the last 2.5 years into a place that I would never want to go back to regardless, okay? It really is a cesspool over there. But Twitch this morning changed their simulcasting guidelines. All right? For those who don't know, Twitch has infamously been a site that if you want to stream on there, all right, you've been told that you cannot actually stream on Twitch while also streaming on another website. And this is rare because other sites allow you to do that. YouTube allows you to do it. Kick allows you to do it. But Twitch says if you want to be part of our partner program and make money on our site, then we own the exclusive rights to your streams. You can only monetize your content here. You cannot try to do that anywhere else. Okay? Now, this has been a big thing of contention for people. A lot of people don't want to only have all their eggs in one basket, and they want to kind of spread their nets out there and see who can I grab viewers-wise from different sites and different things. And if that's the case, then you probably don't want to be a Twitch partner. You don't want to be limited in what you can do because you don't want to be told, oh, you broke our rules and now we're going to freaking demonetize your channel or whatever, right? So this has been a thing that has kept some people away from streaming on Twitch, and it's been a thing people criticize for many, many years. Why is Twitch the only site that enforces this and has this rule? Everyone else lets you do whatever you want. So they changed it this morning. First time in years they've actually made a change to their terms of service that actually seem to benefit someone. So here's the change, all right? I'm going to read this word for word. Ready? In line with the coming change to our terms of service, we're now allowing you to simulcast on any service. We believe in giving you the freedom to simultaneously stream on other services, but we also want to ensure the Twitch user experience is not compromised. To that end, the following guidelines have been established. And by the way, I'm going to have a nice little bit of commentary on what they literally just said at the end of this, so bear with me. Number 1, you ensure that the quality of Twitch users' experience of your simulcast is at a minimum no less than the experience on other platforms or services, including by your engagement with the Twitch community, for example, via chat. So literally, here's what they're saying. If you want to simulcast, you have to pay attention to Twitch chat. If we find that you're only paying attention to YouTube chat or Kick chat and you're ignoring Twitch chat, you are going to lose monetization on your channel. Okay? That's an interesting criteria, don't you think? How would they enforce that exactly? How do you prove that someone's not engaging enough with their Twitch chat? Let's continue. You should not provide links or otherwise direct your community to leave Twitch for your simulcast on other services, because we value the community on Twitch and the integral role community engagement plays for all Twitch users. So if you're simulcasting on Twitch and you say, oh, by the way, this stream is also available on YouTube and Kick, you can also lose your monetization rights, because they'll say you advertised a rival. Okay? Let's continue. You do not use third-party services that combine activity from other platforms or services on your Twitch stream during your simulcast, such as merging chat or other features, to ensure the Twitch community is included in the entirety of the experience for your live stream. This one may be a problem, and here's why. What if you're running a stream and it's on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick? There are third-party apps, sites, and what they do is they'll combine all of your stuff into one. So that way, instead of having your Twitch chat open here, your YouTube chat open here, and your other chat open here, and you're somehow supposed to be looking at all three at once as a streamer, don't ask me how you would do that, because I have enough of a challenge just looking at the one. Now, can you imagine having to maintain 3 different chat rooms all at once? Correct? Now, you can't use a third-party thing to fuse them together. If you do that, that's a violation of the terms of service as well. Not allowed. All right? And again, I have to ask the question, how would they enforce that? How would they even know what you're looking at, right? They would never know. If I'm looking at a third-party thing that fuses the stuffs together, how the hell would they know that I'm looking at that versus just the Twitch and the YouTube chats separately? They would never know. So literally what they're saying there is completely unenforceable. But they have these rules anyway. Now, I've been saying this about Twitch for years, and I just want to reiterate. This is why Twitch is a completely unprofessional business. They have rules in effect like this that are not enforceable rules. There is no way that anyone could ever prove anything and then enforce it properly. So what they're going to do is they have these blanket rules, and then if they got a bug up their butt about you for some reason, they will just ban you or remove you from the partner program on a whim and say, oh, well, see, you broke one of our multi-streaming rules. Well, which one? What did I do? Oh, we're not required to tell you what you did. Bye. That's what these are in effect there for. This gives them a blanket reason to say, ha, we can do whatever we want, and you can't do anything about it. Too bad. There is no way these rules are fair or enforceable to anyone. No one would ever know what you're looking at on your laptop screen. How do you know how much I've chosen to engage with my Twitch chat? How do you know if I'm using a third-party website or not, right? Simply having it listed somewhere on my stream that I also stream on YouTube or Kick or somewhere else could get me banned. But, so I'm supposed to lie to my audience? How are they supposed to know where I'm streaming? Okay? Now, yeah, here it is. If you fail to adhere to simulcast guidelines, Twitch will send you a warning prior to taking any enforcement actions. And again, that's also subjective because they might and they might not. They might just do it anyway. I didn't receive any warnings. When I was kicked out of the Twitch partner program, I received 0 warnings. It wasn't, oh, so you did something wrong. Here's what it is. Please fix it. And if you continue to violate the policy, we'll kick you out of the partner program. It was literally, you're out of the partner program. Too bad. And never told me why. I had to ask, and I was delving for information, and they refused to give me specific information on what I did wrong. That got me kicked out. They didn't care. That's their attitude. So, again, this is a joke. That they think that this is something that's good. This is actually atrociously bad. This is just a blanket reason for them to be able to just kick anyone out at any time, and it's not really appealable, right? But here's the funniest part about all of this, all right? If you read that first statement again, I'm going to read the first statement again, okay? We believe in giving you the freedom to simultaneously stream on other services, but we also want to ensure that the Twitch user experience is not compromised. Just listen to that. They want to ensure that the Twitch experience is not compromised. Twitch, the website that doesn't allow you to stream at a higher than 6,500 kilobyte per second bitrate. The bitrate that's only good enough for 720p video in 2023 is telling you they care about the user experience. That has to be the biggest, most hypocritical fucking statement I've ever read in my life. They don't give 2 fucks about the user experience. If they did, they would have been adding quality of life improvements to their business constantly. We've had PS5 and Xbox Series X released, and they still have a bitrate that doesn't even support 1080p 60 frames per second video. They don't give 2 shits about the quality of what's broadcast on their site. As long as this is rolling in, they don't fucking care. So that is the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life. They don't care about a user experience in any way, shape, or form. What they're worried about is you're paying more attention to the YouTube chat and the Kick chat, and all the people are leaving your Twitch and going there to watch a stream, and that's a problem for them. So that's what's enforceable. Not the quality of the fucking stream. That's the biggest joke I've ever heard, and whoever wrote that should be fucking ashamed of themselves that they got paid to write that statement, because it's such a lie. It's like Pinocchio's nose grew so big it broke the wall down. So, if you're interested in simulcasting, still don't do it on Twitch. Seriously, like you'd be a complete idiot. You would absolutely be a moron to do this on Twitch. It's going to be the worst idea ever. You're not going to have a good time. They're going to have completely unenforceable rules that they're going to claim they're going to try to enforce on your stream. At any chance that they don't like you, they're going to kick you right off and get you out of the partner program, get you off the site. They don't care. And in their opinion, oh, we made a generalized rule listing, so there's nothing you can do about it. Legally, we're protected. In reality, they're not, but no one's going to sue them. Well, you know, anyone who gets kicked off of Twitch, I mean, what are you going to do? Try to sue the fuck out of them? Of course you're not, right? So, you know, they get away with it. They're a scumbag company. They always have been, and they're run like a joke. They're definitely not run in any professional capacity, which is why you hear Twitch horror stories every single day, and that's why I'm not going back there. Like I said, they're my backup. If anything ever were to happen where I couldn't stream on YouTube, you know, maybe I would go to Twitch as a temporary, you know, failsafe so I could stream somewhere, and then I would probably set up somewhere else and go somewhere else, because I would never want to stay there. Again, unless they have a major shift in management philosophy, there's no way I would ever go back over there, because they're just not, you can't trust them. They're a bunch, they say one thing and they mean another. They literally said there, we care about the user experience, but they've done nothing to improve user experience for 3 years. So obviously they're lying. All they care about is this. Oh my God, if you cost us some of this by simulcasting elsewhere, we don't want that. So that's really what those rules are for, right? So, yeah, I keep telling people this, and, you know, people, oh, I aspire to be a big Twitch streamer, and one day I hope that I can become a partner on Twitch. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't want that. You have no idea what you're asking for. You're getting into a situation where literally anyone can at any moment shut you down for no reason, okay? So ridiculous. So, anyway, RGB, if you're a complete idiot, and I'm not even going to address what you just said because it's the dumbest thing I've ever fucking heard. Thank you. All right, so that's DSP news for today. Like I said, we didn't have too much. It was light. It was light news. Nothing too crazy. And, now, what we will do, very briefly, gratuitous plugs, and then we're going to do some shout-outs, and then we're going to head into our usual, if we have time for Q&A or whatever, and go from there, okay? So, ladies and gents, I'm an independent streamer. I don't have a sponsorship or partnership with a single company. There's no shilling on my streams. There's no product placements. There's no referral codes. There's very minimal ad placement on my streams, all for a good reason, because I want to stay truly independent. I want it that when I play a game, I can give you my full opinion, whether good or bad, and not have to answer to anyone, and not have to worry about insulting anyone, or getting someone upset and losing something, or getting dropped by something. I love what I do for a living, and I haven't changed in many, many years, all right? On purpose. I had many opportunities to change, like many other YouTubers and content creators have. I haven't, all right? If you like the fact that I'm still true to myself and my audience, and I want to keep it that way, please consider supporting my streams today in one of the many ways I'm about to outline. This is what keeps me going for 15 years. If I didn't have the level of support I got from you guys, I wouldn't still be here. Okay? Number one, engagement. If you're watching this stream, if you're watching this video on demand and you like it, please give it a like and leave a comment. Whether it's, hey, just helping out with the algorithm, or just want to say good podcast today. Stuff like that helps significantly. That's a boost to the amount of attention that we get here, all right? So if you could, I would absolutely appreciate that, all right? And thank you in advance to anyone who does give me engagement on the channel. I really appreciate it, all right? Number two, super chats, super stickers, super thanks. Ways to contribute to this channel through YouTube itself. Super chats, super stickers happen during live streams. Super thanks are on an on-demand video. If you do that, I will give you an individual shout out, whether it's live on a stream or in the comment of the video. I'll be sure to highlight and, you know, like that comment. And we also have the leaderboard here, right? So please consider, you know, doing one of those things. It helps out a lot, okay? In addition, we have memberships. Memberships are awesome, especially this time of year. Getting access to dozens of emotes. Being able to talk as much as you want in the stream chat without any limitation. Everyone else has like a 10-second limitation. Members do not. Okay? Getting a cool chat crown badge to show how long you've been a supporter. Among other features. You know, right now, members were the people who got to nominate a Halloween game, and they got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? Which is really nice. So, memberships, you get a bunch of cool features on the channel. You support the channel. Maybe you're someone who's around a decent amount, or maybe even you're a newcomer and you like what you see here. You're like, I want to help out the community. I want some people to actually enjoy the content a little more. You can actually gift memberships to the channel, which is a cool feature. So please consider it. I am hoping by the end of this month to boost my member numbers. You know, at one point we were at 650, and we lost a lot this month. I would hope to get some of those back, hopefully by the end of the month, okay? RGB, I'm really had it with you now. I'm going to tell you one more time. You got to shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't care what you're saying in the chat right now. You have zero credence to anything you've said whatsoever. Okay, zero. Last chance to shut up and stop. I'm trying to be very nice and very fair with you right now, right? You notice I haven't taken any action yet. You're continuously harping on an issue you know nothing about. I'm going to give you one more chance to shut up. Let's see if you can do it. Okay. I mean, I'm being very, very patient with this guy at this point. Okay. Now, the final way you can contribute to my streams, tipping. And tipping's hugely helpful right now. Because in the last week, I bought 3 games. 3. Coming up in the next several weeks, I got many more to buy, including Alan Wake 2, Modern Warfare 2, or Modern Warfare 3, excuse me. And there'll be more coming up in the next couple of months. Plus, sadly this month, my payment from YouTube's held up. I was supposed to get paid today. I didn't. I'm not going to get paid for several more days. Whenever they try to pay on a weekend, it gets delayed many days. And I got bills clearing right now, so tips right now. So there you go. See? What did I say? I tried to be nice to RGB, and he just insulted me in the chat. I knew it, because these people who are here in my chat to derail are not here to actually make a point. They're just morons. They make shit up. They talk out of their asses. This guy knows absolutely nothing, and now he's gone, and he's not coming back, and I'm happy that he's gone. What a complete idiot. I tried to be nice. Was I not nice? I give him 3 chances. 3. But that's the thing. I guess I'm not supposed to be a nice guy. What I'm supposed to do, the moment that I saw that, I should have just got rid of him and never even addressed him. Because then people would say, oh, you see, you took the bait. Well, no, I was trying to be nice, actually. I didn't want to be mean to the guy, but he was being very mean to me. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about. You know. Pretty sad. But it is what it is. I guess that's just life. I just got to be a jerk, right? I should just be a jerk and then not say anything, I guess. Probably the better way to do it. Anyway, so let's continue. Tipping would help a lot today. Why? Number 1, to afford all these games coming out. Number 2, because of the delay in my YouTube payment. All right. So anything would help, any support, but tipping today particularly would be a great way to help. I am looking to hit at least the tier 1 tips goal every stream I do today. Sadly, we didn't do that yesterday, so it would be great if we could do that today. All right. So please consider tipping. And that's that. That's it. That's all I got to say. All right. Shout-outs. First of all, to my knowledge, I haven't seen anything come in on the YouTube side of things. Am I correct? Nothing. I don't see any super chats or memberships. So nothing to shout out. Oops. Nothing to shout out there. We have some tips to shout out today. So let's start off here with what appears to be a generous $15 tip from Big Mario Gaming. It said Luigi, but it's Mario. I'm very confused. It's Big Mario Gaming. He says, hey, Phil, sorry I haven't been here for a week. My internet went out. I was kind of enjoying the unplug with offline games. They came today and they fixed my internet. I'm back up and running. Good to enjoy Mario Wonder goodness. I'm at the start of World 3. You're ahead of me. Excited to see you play Alan Wake 2 next week. Me too. As you might know, I don't like horror games unless I'm watching someone playing it. Helps me feel not as scared when watching. Have a great day. This match is long, so I figured I would leave you a longer tip. Well, thank you so much to Big Mario Gaming. Formerly Big Larry Gaming, but he called himself Big Mario Gaming in this tip. I appreciate that very much. Now let's get you up on the leaderboard. Glad that your internet's back. In the modern day, it is, I understand. It's a big hassle to have your internet down. And for me, you know, I have backup, but all the internet that I have here, like backup satellite internet, is terrible. I have very bad reception. So when my internet's down, basically I'm dead in the water. I can't even do anything. So, okay. I received a $1 tip. Someone says, Bojangles is disgusting. I ordered Bojangles for lunch. I never want to go back. The chicken was uncooked. I never even heard of this place. But I never heard of it. Is there a place? Is it a fried chicken place? I'm not aware of that. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Where is that located? It's kind of like Church's Chicken and stuff too. Like I never heard of those either. I've seen ads. I've never actually seen them. Huh. Anyway, uncooked chicken is gross. I mean, that could be dangerous. You get salmonella, right? I received a tip from Declan. All right, and they said, well, first of all, he's asking something about how do you handle like personal challenges and issues in your life? How do you juggle them? I mean, as you get older, essentially you learn to handle that stuff better. Okay? So, for example, when I was younger, in my 20s, I would say, I got a lot of, how can I put it? I got overexcited and over dramatic and very upset about things very easily. Anger issues. I had a lot of anger issues when I was younger. I think a lot of that came through in a lot of my earlier videos. The amount of anger issues that I had. Everything was a big deal. Seriously, everything was a huge deal, a big problem, right? And as I got older, I basically realized that not everything was a world-ending deal I needed to freak out about anymore. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny because even on these streams, people will bring up some nonsense from outside the stream and say, oh, this is happening, that's happening. I'm like, I don't care. Why would that affect me? I'm not going to sit here. When I was younger, I had something to say about everything. Everything was a huge concern for me, right? And even things that, that stress you out, literally, you can just realize that a lot of that stuff is just not that big of a deal anymore. I think what it is, too, is as you get older, you start to get a little bit wiser, you get to a little bit more life experience, and you get to see a lot of other things that are a lot more scary, all right? As I'm getting older now, things with health, things I see people around me getting sick and passing away, crime is a major concern. You start seeing all these things. And when you start seeing these things around, you're like, okay, so the little things that I used to care about so much when I was younger just aren't that big of a deal for me anymore. Because there's other major shit that's more scary. That's more serious that I need to really worry about. As you get older and you get all these responsibilities. And I'm responsible for this household and everything that goes on in it. The health of my wife and my cat, financial responsibilities, everything, the safety of everyone. That's just all on me. That, to me, is way more important than some drama on the internet or some bullshit, someone trying to bully and say dumb shit. Who cares about that shit? Like, that's nothing, right? That's like a frivolous nonsense to me now. But back in the day, that was like a big deal to me, When I was in the Street Fighter community, God forbid someone talk shit about Darkside Phil, I would freak out. How dare you say something about me? Now I have to go on you and we have to get into a big internet beef about it and shit like that, right? So for me, it was just getting older, getting more mature, getting more responsibilities, getting a little bit more wise about, what I've really learned? You got to pick your battles, all right? And this is something that I think a lot of people don't learn until they're much older. You've got to learn to pick your battles. In life, you literally cannot get excited about everything. You can't. You can't get upset or worried about every little thing. You got to find the things that are more important to you and your loved ones, and those are the things you have to really focus on and care about. So I've learned to do that a lot better. Back in the day, again, every little thing I would freak out about. Now I just don't give two shits. What anyone says about me, what anyone does, I don't care. I ignore it all, and I just try to sit here and make fun content for you guys, and then I have my life outside of the streams, and that's what's important to me, right? So as long as you can kind of learn that, you pick your battles, you only worry about the more important shit, that's going to be the better way to go through life, I feel, okay? He says, I'm excited for your Mario gameplay. It's nice to watch a chill stream without any drama. I've been seeing a lot less of that recently. Yeah, because again, even if drama exists, just ignore it. There's no reason to pay any attention to it. Really. It's nonsensical bullshit. It doesn't affect anyone. Just ignore it. That's my philosophy, and I don't care. I could give two shits what anyone outside the stream says about me. Why do I care? I don't care if it's some fucking detractor. I don't care if it's a restreamer. I don't care if it's another YouTuber. I don't care if it's a fucking drama queen bitch on YouTube who just wants to talk shit to try to get attention. I don't care about any of them. They don't exist to me. They're like farts. They're here for a second, you get a bad whiff of the stink, and then they fly away. So, what? Do you address every fart you smell in life? When you're walking down the street and someone stinks, do you just fucking, oh my God, oh, it's horrible, something stinks, or do you just walk past it? So that's what I do. I walk past all of it, and I continue on down the road to fun and prosperity and chill vibes. I don't run back to the fart. Oh, man. Oh, it's just really bad right here. Oh. Okay. I I received a $2 tip from Anso Kamaru. I'm 100% agreed on music for Mario Wonder. I'm near the end of the game. The music is forgettable. While it's a wonderful game and the Wonder Flower does stay fresh the whole time, I'm actually very good to hear that. The devs dropped the ball on the music. It's a shame. Music is a huge factor for games for me. I like, especially with Mario games. Like I said, literally, I just sat here, an hour ago, and I hummed 3 unique and notable Mario themes that I remember from previous Mario platformers. And how is it that I don't remember jack from this game? So, that does suck. That it sounds like they didn't do a good job on the music. Everything else seems outstanding, right? Okay, now it looks like on the YouTube side of things, we do have some interesting stuff. First of all, Grim Ripper re-upped his membership for 23 months and said he has emailed me a code, and I saw it this morning. I was waiting to kind of get to this segment to talk about it. So, if anyone's interested, I don't know if you guys are interested or not. Hold on. Grim Ripper emailed me. And let's see what he got here. He sent me a code. I'm just going to give it out. All right? If you purchased Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 5 and you didn't pre-order it for some reason, you probably did not receive the pre-order bonuses, which I believe is like a couple of outfits. So I have a code from Grim Ripper, and thank you to Grim Ripper, to give out that pre-order bonus content for someone who maybe is playing the game but did not pre-order it and you want that free content. You can get it right now. All right? So everyone get ready. Here is the code, PS5 Spider-Man 2 pre-order bonus content, which is like a couple of outfits. All right? The code is as follows. HJHX XRXD PJR4. Thank you, Grim Ripper, for that. I hope that someone enjoys it. Certainly, I didn't need it. I had the pre-order stuff. So there you go. Okay, cool. Thank you, Grim Ripper, for that. Continuing on, Spawn Killer, with our first super chat of the day, says, I've just joined. How do you like Spider-Man? Good. Love it. Great game so far. You know, we're only 3 hours in, and we just kind of getting to the open world segments, but outstanding. Great graphics, much improved gameplay elements. So far, really good, and looking forward to more later tonight on the late stream. Thank you for the super chat. Bloomkit with the super chat. Depends on how bad the fart stinks. Not really. Again, here's the thing. You can choose to move. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I understand what you're saying. Sometimes you have to address the fart because it affects everyone around you and it's not going away. But in general, for the most part, if someone's just being nasty or toxic or stupid, just ignore it and move on. There's no point to even bring it up or address it or waste your breath on it. Who gives a shit, right? I'm so busy right now with the new releases, hot new games. I'm so busy with these streams and the fun we're having on them. And quite frankly, I'm busy with my real life behind the scenes as well. I don't have time for bullshit. I don't have time for that nonsense. Just ignore it all, right? Who gives a shit? Okay. Continuing on. Grim Ripper gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you, Grim Ripper. How nice of you this morning. You're gifting stuff to the community in droves. 5 memberships. So congratulations to the following. Mint, Hybrid, Raul, Mango Pimp, and Plumber Who Fixes Leaks. I hope you all enjoy your gifted memberships. Be sure to thank Grim Ripper for the gift this morning. And then we've got No 925 Fuxcos. Fuxcos? That's an interesting spelling. It maybe he wanted to say fuckas or fuxas, but it says Fuxcos. Anyway, thank you for the membership. They became a member this morning. That's why I'm saying that name repeatedly. Very interesting. Very nice. Okay. Turtle Dude, we have Spider-Man on performance mode. Of course we do. It's running at a silky smooth 60 frames. So absolutely, we've got that on performance mode. For sure. Cypress says, you know, I wish everyone had the same mindset as you. Unfortunately, some YouTubers who are older still don't get it. They contribute to embarrassing YouTube as a platform. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Trust me, I know. I hear about it all the time. You know, there's documentaries about this kind of stuff. It's like some people just can't figure out that if you just stay on your own stuff and focus on that, you don't pay attention to the white noise bullshit, you're going to be way more happier in life, and you're going to find yourself outside of all the realms of all this nonsensical drama. I hate to say it. There's a difference between me and those people, all right? I have a viewer base that likes to come by and actually hang out with me and enjoy my content for what it is, at face value. True, there's a lot of hate watchers and the like, but I actually have a legit viewer base that comes and enjoys and supports. If I just focus on that viewer base, I will stay successful. Sadly, there are YouTubers out there that all they have is a hater base. They've lost their positive viewer base. Over the years, it's gone. So to them, if all they can get for attention is drama, they have to stay in the drama. They have to constantly address it. They'll claim they won't, and then they go right back to it. And they can't avoid it. They can't help it. This is the only time they even get any attention, is when they get into more drama or nonsense and toxicity. All right? For me, I prosper when I stay out of the drama. If anything, what I've noticed and found over the years is, although you can get temporary attention for being involved in some kind of drama, it is incredibly short-lived, and it doesn't benefit whatsoever. Just a couple cases in point. I've had some really viral tweets. Okay? I've had tweets that got ridiculous amounts of views, millions of views, likes, retweets, and all of that. Guess how much those tweets have benefited me and my business? A nice big goose egg zero. Because none of that translates into anything significant. It's just people talk about you for a little bit, and then it's gone. It doesn't matter. It's flash in the pan nonsense. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't amount to anything productive. The whole idea of online attention, drama, and social media stuff, it's short-lived nonsense. It doesn't amount to anything. So unless you're someone who's going to constantly live in the drama, like this is your existence online, is to constantly be causing controversy and drama, and that's your existence on the internet. If that's what you want, then I've seen some people be very successful in that. But that's a hell of a way to live. It's certainly not a way I would want to live, especially because you can essentially start hurting yourself and others around you doing that kind of shit. I'm not that kind of person. I just want to sit here and enjoy video games. I don't want to hurt anyone around me for personal gain. A lot of people don't care about that. They don't have a conscience. They can deal with that. I can't. So for me, I just want to sit here and enjoy games and have fun, and that's what it's all about. So, you're right. There's YouTubers out there. They can't help it. The moment someone else says something negative about them, that's it. Big expose. We're doing a stream about it today. We're going to slam that person. We're going to debunk them. We're going to attack them. We're going to have a fucking content cop expose on them. They can't help it. It's drama, drama, drama. That's why I will stay out of that shit, Okay. I received a $20 tip from 1 Minute Man. Thank you so much, 1 Minute Man, as always, for your support of my content on YouTube, no matter where I go and what I do. I really, really appreciate that. Let's get a nice animation for you of me having my head shrunk. I love this animation. And thank you so much, 1 Minute Man. Let's get that up there. Gets us up to $43 in tips. Cool. And I received a $2 tip from Dan the Man. Have you had pizza flavored cereal? Okay, I have never had pizza flavored cereal. I have had pizza flavored, like crunchy air puffed snacks. And guess what they were? You'll never get. I'm going to let everyone guess in the chat. If I had pizza flavored air puffed snacks, what do you think they were? What branding did they have? What intellectual property were they associated with? Let's see what people have to say in the chat. I want you guys to guess. Derek got it right away. He said Ninja Turtles. He nailed it. Ninja Turtles. Back in the day, Ninja Turtles were everything. They were on everything. They had a fucking pudding pie with green splooge center. I'm serious. It was disgusting. They said it was the ooze from the movies. It looked gross. Green splooge inside of a pie. And they had pizza flavored puffed snacks. All it was like a puffed rice or corn snack doused in this like powder. And they said it was pizza. It tasted nothing like pizza. It was odd. It was bizarre. Very bizarre flavoring. I can't even really describe it. Like what it was. It was just, it wasn't tomato, but it wasn't cheese. It definitely had some herb. Like you could see it had a little herb. Like maybe it had oregano or something in it. I think it did. I think it legit had oregano in it or something like that. Because it had like little green flecks in it. But it didn't taste anything like pizza at all. It was very, very weird. So, by the way, I'm smelling food right now. Who's cooking? It's coming from outside. Someone's cooking out there. It's like garlic. What the heck? It's a heavy garlic smell. Now you guys know me. I'm Italian. So my nose, I'm like Toucan Sam following my nose to the freaking, Fruit Loops. I smell garlic. I'm like, I gotta follow my nose to the garlic. It smells good. I love garlic. I don't know where it's coming from. It's heavy garlic smell coming from outside. Very weird. Anyway, all right. So I saw a couple statements I wanted to address, but they scrolled off the screen. Let me see if I can find them. Let's see. Kazumi is wondering, could I do a separate stream trying Super Mario Bros. Wonder online? Isn't it the same game except it's co-op? And a lot of people are saying that it makes the game more chaotic and weird, which is why you have those characters that can't die, because it actually makes you... You know what reminds me of Battletoads? How Battletoads is actually a harder game when you play two-player than it is single-player. So I don't know if I'm too interested in playing the game online, quite frankly, Kazumi. Cyber says you've done a good job with the last few months ignoring all the drama. Keep it up. I will. No, really. I mean, take a look. I'm not even kidding you. Take a look at the last several months, like the summertime, ever since Street Fighter 6 came out, right? The summertime till now, and how different that's been. Staying out of all the nonsensical drama. Every fucking moron who tried to pull me into their fucking vortex of shit, and I ignored them all, and I said, go fuck yourselves. I want nothing to do with any of you. You go over there with your toxic lives and leave me the fuck out of it so I can do my own thing. And look, everything's been good. Content's been good, right? We've been having a good time here as a community. No drama, no nonsense. Don't have to address nothing. Fuck all them. What do they have to do with me? Nothing. They can't do shit. They can't bring me down. Ignore them. So, I'm happy. I'm actually happy that I stayed out of it, and I continue to do so. I have never tried the pizza flavored Pringles, Goldfish. I don't think so. I don't recall having pizza flavored Pringles. My favorite Pringles were always sour cream and onion. I found them a very craveable flavor. Goldfish also says, I grew up with Italian friends and we would joke instead of bringing apples, they'd bring garlic to eat. Oh, it's not a joke. You eat the whole garlic clove raw, you just go, just like it's an apple. You just bite right into it. Or onion, a raw onion too, like, and crunchy. Yeah, Italians will do that all the time. It's absolutely delicious. Good for your heart. Derek found it. They were called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Pizza Crunchabungas. Oh my god, Crunchabungas. Crunchabungas. Of course they were called that. Yikes. What's the weirdest food I ever eaten before, says Grim Ripper. Oh, man. The weirdest food. That's a tough question. What's something that I ate and I absolutely did not like? I mean, let's be honest. That oxtail soup that I had, what was it? It was supposed to be from the Vietnamese restaurant. That straight up tasted like ass. Like, it smelled, and the one sip I took was absolutely revolting. It was like you licked the butt cheeks of the fucking ox. So I don't know what they were thinking with that or how that's supposed to be good. I'm trying to think what else that I might have had that's disgusting. See, the thing is, I usually avoid things that gross me out. Like, I've seen oysters. I've never tried them because they look disgusting to me. I don't want to try that and be grossed out. Probably years ago. Remember, it was like 3 or more years ago. I was doing those disgusting flavored Skittles, the ones that they're surprise flavors, and some of them were tasty, and some of them was supposed to be like barf, and I literally, that's some of the nastiest stuff I've ever tasted. Those Skittles made me barf. I almost vomited on stream from it, and that's why I stopped doing it. I never did it ever again. I couldn't do it, 13 days till your birthday, Juan. Good for you. I hope your plans are in your final stage for whatever you're going to be doing for your birthday. No, I said I never had pizza flavored Pringles. Ranch Buffalo Lay's Stacks. I never had Lay's Stacks at all. Never tried those. Yuck. Vanilla. Yes, vanilla pudding power. I remember that. They called it vanilla pudding power, and they were acting like the pudding in the Ninja Turtles pie was supposed to be like the ooze that mutated the turtles. That's just what I want to think of as a kid, that I'm eating the green fucking ooze. It's going to mutate me. Right? How did Kat and I meet? You know, it's a funny story. We were both in this underground cage fighting ring. And I was actually fighting this guy who had glued all of this shattered glass to his gloves. It was weird. First of all, he put glue and then he put it right in the glass and he licked it. He actually had blood coming out of his mouth. And it was very scary. And Kat was actually there, and she was working for the secret organization who actually held these underground fights. And so, as I was about to participate... Oh, wait. No, wait a minute. That's a movie. That's a Van Damme movie. Sorry, I got that confused. Sorry, that's not how we met. Anyway. Have I ever had ketchup-flavored chips? You know, I want to say I have, but I don't recall. Like, I feel like I know what they would taste like, but I don't actually remember eating them. So maybe I never have. I don't know. What's up, Captain DCW? Good to have you here today. He's chilling, playing Spider-Man, watching football today. Cool. Sounds fun. Iron Man the Power says he's been playing the Tekken 8 closed beta with Nina. How is it? Are you having a good time, and how are the online connections? That's what I'm really curious about. Is it holding up to Street Fighter 6? Because Mortal Kombat 1 did not. And by the way, just for the record, I forgot to mention this, but the online numbers for Mortal Kombat 1 were revealed. Mortal Kombat 1 has gotten about 1/3 less amount of online players than Street Fighter 6. Not surprising. Anyway, Derek says the tier maker is looking good. Any more Halloween film franchise suggestions? How about this, Derek? Can you send me an email with the franchises you have in the tier maker? Because I'd like to see what's in it. And then if there's a few last minute ones to add, I'll let you know what I think. But I don't know what you have in there yet. I know I sent you a bunch of suggestions a couple weeks ago. If you can let me know what's actually in it, we can maybe finalize it. Because I'd like to get my hands on it a little early, too, so I get it set up for the stream on Tuesday next week. So, what's the next horror movie review going to be? Dr. Sleep. I'm going to watch the sequel to The Shining, Dr. Sleep. I'm very excited to see this movie because I really like The Shining. And I've heard that Dr. Sleep is a very good movie. So that's going to be the next one. And then, if I have time for another one, I'll do it. If not, the last one for the month will be Five Nights at Freddy's. Like I told you guys I would do. I want to watch this Five Nights at Freddy's movies and review it for you. So, excuse me. Is it? People think it's a very good movie? I'm glad to hear that. Yes, I'm talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's movies that comes out next week. I'm going to watch it and review it. They show if the connection is good or not in Tekken 8. There's a lot of PC players for the beta. That's not surprising. I told you, everyone's playing fighting games on PC now. Seriously. Excuse me. I've never played a Tarzan game, no. There's an upcoming Silent Hill series. There is? I didn't hear anything about a Silent Hill series coming up. I didn't even know about that. Where is that available? I'm not aware. Alright, it looks like people have, we've run out of topics, right? Alright, once again, if If you guys are enjoying all the new content that I'm putting out, and you're already watching it, you do me the solid of liking the videos and leaving comments for engagement. Really, I mean this. Like, when I'm playing new games, you don't understand how big of an impact that can have. It takes like 5 seconds of your time, but it could really help out my playthroughs. And I know a lot of people, sadly, just don't do it. They watch and then they don't take the time to like or leave a comment. And it would help a ton on a smaller channel like mine to get that kind of engagement this time of year. So if you could do that for me, I would appreciate it. And of course, thanks to everyone who is supporting my content right now and all the new releases. All right? Thank you all. Hopefully on tomorrow's podcast, we'll have an even better understanding of these games after yet another major stream of each. I'm excited to talk more about them tomorrow on the show. So I hope that you will. All right? And in addition to that, preparing because tomorrow's the React Day. Tonight I'll be getting all of your video suggestions into a playlist for tomorrow. That should be fun. And great weekend vibes so far. I hope you're all enjoying the weekend, having a good time. And enjoy all the new playthroughs. And happy Halloween.